Hello, welcome to Scrap Time. My name is Christine, and in this video I am making a card using the Cosmo Cricut Pixie paint with the Technique Tuesday pull strip die. In this video I'm going to show you how to make a card similar to this one, where we have used the Cosmo Cricut Pixie paint for the background, and then this is a stamp and dies from Technique Tuesday, and it's that little tear die, and you go do-do-do-do-do-do. Ta-da! And it reveals that inside this card is a Starbucks, if I can just, Starbucks gift card. There it is. So I just thought this die was super cool. And so for the second part of the video, we're going to be doing the part with the die. So I have a piece of watercolor paper, and this is from Tim Holtz. And what I love about their watercolor paper is one side is the cold press and one side is the hot press, meaning one side is bumpy, one side is smooth. And we're going to use the smooth side of the paper because whenever I do any stamping, I like to use smooth sides. Now the Cosmo Cricut Pixie paint, I have 4 bottles here. I have Pool, Candy, Ruby, and Harbor. And I'm going to use the Harbor. And what's a little different about theirs is they have some different colored particles in it to give you some different speckles and stuff you can see in the thing there. It's not one solid color. Now these are basically pigment powders. And so because it's a powder, what I like to do first is spray my paper. And this helps when the powders hit it, that they'll already start to dissolve. So you just open it up and you see how as the pigments sort of fall on there, they are dissolving. How cool is that? And now I'm just holding it sort of sideways and tapping it. I don't want too much at once, however, sometimes it happens. So for now, I'll just stop there. Now I could spritz it again, but I'm sort of liking the way that's looking. So what I'm going to do is get my heat tool and dry it like that. Now, a lot of times you'll get that extra water on the edge of the cards. And I'm just going to absorb some of that. So I'm going to give it another little spritz. Now, because this is a water-based thing, each time you spritz it, it will reactivate it. But I'm going to add some more now over top. By drying it in between, it does sort of dry it a bit, and then the extra can sort of sit on top. So we're sort of building it up a little. I'm going to just give it a little spritz, some of them. And then I'm going to dry it again. Now if you have a part here that's sort of pooled, another thing you can do is you put it down and it's takes it away and gives you a different type of texture as well. And I just dry it a little more. So now I have some of the pigment down here on my craft mat. And so what I'm going to do is dip it in. Sometimes you get some great texture and sometimes it just goes over. So let me dry this again. I'm going to just see if I can pick up any of the little texture. Seems that today it's just giving me big blotches of color. But I sort of like how this is looking like that, even with the little white spots. If I want to get a little bit more in that white, I can just dip it in. But I'm going to dry this completely and then we'll move on to the next step with the dyes. So here we have our completed piece. And as I mentioned before, how even though we only used one bottle, one color, it still had a bit of red, a bit of yellow, and you have different shades of blue all within that one bottle. So that's sort of cool. So next up, we're going to use our dye set. Now this is called the Flair pull strip. And it's cut but not all the way through, and that's how it stays in place and doesn't just pop right off. So I'm going to do the card this way this time, the longer way. And I'm going to sort of place it. I know I'm going to be gluing it down there, so I want to push it a little in from the side. Maybe something like that. And because I want it to stay where I put it, I'm going to use washi tape to help me just hold it in place while it goes through the dye machine. Now washi tape is good because it's low tack and won't typically won't affect the paper. So I just sort of hold it in place like that, and I'm just using my old die cutting machine here. So you can see on the back side here that it did cut through, but when we remove it, that piece is still going to be intact. And you can see the washi tape didn't affect our design at all. So I remove my die and we have our piece still there. Because you want to leave it there until you give the card to somebody. So now we can decorate it. This is a stamp set. This one is called Hello Flair. And these circles fit perfectly in with the circle of the die. And so I have one that says, "You did it." So I'm going to stamp, and I'm stamping with archival ink just because it stamps well on top of my watercolor background. So it fits right within that circle. And then the other stamp set I am using, this one is called Smile Borders. And it has a bunch of different words or hearts, stars and arrows. And that's going to stamp along that one. And so I picked one that says smile, celebrate, happy day, fun time. So it's not all going to fit on, but up till happy day. So I think that'll be good. So I just need to sort of center it in the middle of that strip. Like that. So it's a nice little pull strip. And then you can just sort of push this up so people know that there's a little treat waiting for them. So I have my card here. I did using, I think this might be the Ruby Pixie powders. And then this will sit on top. So once I have a gift card that I want to give to somebody, I just put the gift card here in the card and then glue all the way around it. And I have my card ready with the gift card to give to a lucky recipient. And that's how easy it is to make your own papers using the Cosmo Cricut Pixie paints and these little pull dies from Technique Tuesday. Thanks for watching. Be sure to give us a thumbs up and like our video, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Scrap Time Videos. See you next time. Bye-bye.